Your Thanksgiving Day, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. When we talk about this rail strike, Congress has acted on this issue in the past. Should Congress step in now and prevent a strike?
Yeah, the last time Congress had to step in was about 30 years ago, and I think we do need to step in if they do not reach a deal on their own. They do still have a little less than 2 weeks, the railroads and the unions, to come up with a deal. We know that the White House is involved, but certainly if it comes to the point where they don't reach an agreement, then Congress must step in and implement some type of arrangement, probably what was already proposed under the negotiations that have got us this far, plus any concessions that have been made by the unions and the railroads since then. This is critically important. If you look what happened this weekend in the Northeast, you saw frigid temperatures, a massive snowstorm. People need to know that our diesel reserves are at the lowest since 1951. And if we have a rail strike, it could be critical for the Northeast that has about a 25-day supply in reserves. It's about half of what was in inventory this time last year. And so I am concerned, and I've been using my platform to highlight this and the need for Congress to step in as soon as possible if they do not reach an agreement. And we've also urged the Biden administration to present us with a plan on what they will do with regards to the Northeast heating situation if it gets to that.
Yeah, very, very concerning. I live in the Northeast myself. Not directly engaged is what President Biden has said regarding this round, what's happening now. He did in the past, but here's what was said from the White House podium. Karine Jean-Pierre weighing in on the thoughts from the administration.
The president has said from the beginning a shutdown is unacceptable because of the harm it would inflict on jobs, families, farms, businesses, and communities just across the country. And a majority of unions have voted, as you all know, I know you guys are following this very closely, to ratify the tentative agreement that we saw back in September. And the best option still is for the parties to resolve their differences themselves, and that's what the president is going to continue to call on.
Congress, as we mentioned, may be forced to step in, but is this a test of the president's clout on this issue?
Absolutely. Look, he did put in that tentative deal that avoided the initial strike, but to now see this falling apart potentially right before the holidays, this would cost the U.S. economy about $2 billion a day. So if the White House is not going to take the bull by the horns, then Congress must, and we have the ability to pass legislation to prevent this from happening, and we should be doing it. It should be really the first thing on our agenda when we return next week. When you think about some of the other issues, right, you had the drought in the Mississippi River. You have the issue of the Jones Act, which means that vessels can't transport from port to port unless it's a U.S. flag, which means that we would have trouble bringing up supply from the Gulf. So really, and then on top of that, you have the issues that are happening in Europe, right, with Russia. They're going to stop importing crude December 5th. So there's a lot going on here, not just here domestically, but internationally, that could affect our ability to heat homes here in the United States. And the President of the United States certainly should be making this a #1 priority. Okay, it's not just about transporting Christmas gifts for the holidays. Right. It's about actually transporting what we use, chemicals for water treatment, everything that we need to survive, really, including heat and energy, which impacts everything, food included. So I'm looking forward to working. I'm willing to work. We have ideas and some ways that we can avert this issue, but it is the responsibility of Congress to step in, and we must do that just as we did in the 90s.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. A divided Congress right now is not unusual, of course. But Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit of your Thanksgiving Day with us. We really appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving and happy birthday to my little goddaughter Ariana today.
Oh, that's lovely. Happy birthday to her. Arthel?
Happy birthday, Ariana. All right.